Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. I want to send double honor to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and safety is to the hopeful elect document out there doing this work. And hearty shalom to the scattered elect and to the few sincere women out there that subscribe to the true doctrine of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. This is the brother you call Amath with the Great Millstone Camp, the branch out here in Omaha, Nebraska. Coming back with another lesson, Lord willing, to feed and to edify the lost sheep of the nation of Israel through the Holy Spirit. Rachakodash. Yeah, and I want to get into this topic. It was inspired by a statement that the elder apostle Gabar made, as he was, going into a video, or he was giving his, motivation, or not motivation, but inspiration to do a video through two things. One being a response to the elder apostle Tahar's video, where this is scary. And as the apostle mentioned in the video, he got his inspiration for his precept list from Al-Azhar, and that's where the statement came from that that I wanted to get into is we don't hate them, we hate what they teach, and starting, Al-Azhar is not the only one. Al-Azhar is a big one, because he directly, through his deeds, denies the Apostle Paul's writings, saying that they're not biblical. And how does he do that? By dishonoring his head, by wearing a hat while he prophesies. When it tells us in the book of Corinthians that if a man prophesieth or prayeth with his head covered, he dishonoreth his head. And who is our head? Yahweh Shai. Okay? Also, you have, IUIC. That's a paramount example of we hate what you teach, And in Nate's case, the Bishop Nathaniel with the IUIC, we hate what you teach and we hate what you don't teach. What you don't teach is the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And what makes that so hateful is because at a point in time you did teach the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And even to this very day, you will mention the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, but you don't push that as something that your congregation should call upon. Okay, you're changing up, constantly changing up the prophecies and speaking them inaccurately. Right? And in my opinion, you're doing it purposely. Like I said, that's my opinion. You're doing that purposely, man. So you can keep your pockets fat. So you can keep your congregation nice and girthy. When you're teaching that the MOTB is in sin or embargo, you're teaching this not what it is. Okay, you're teaching a hell doctrine. It's like that's, we hate that you teach these things. All right, and these aren't the only two individuals. Those are just the main, those are the biggest problems concerning doctrine. All right, because the MOTB is a very, very paramount end time prophecy, man. And if Israel's not warned about it, when you have the opportunity to teach them, then that puts a lot of people in danger. Okay? But let's get into the scriptures, man. I've done enough talking. I want to start off here, and I pray that this is an edifying lesson. All right? This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4. In verse 3, it says, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine." All right? Which sound means whole. When you get into that word sound, it says Strong's G 5198, hygiano, right? It says hygiano, which says to be sound, to be well, to be in good health, Metaphor of Christians whose opinions are free from any mixture of error. Okay? And this is, that means what? You're not teaching that the mark of the beast is sin, because it doesn't match up when it says, mentions in that same passage that no man should buy nor sell. Okay, that is a clear error in doctrine. All right, but because if it doesn't match up with what's written in the scriptures, then we ought not to give heed unto it. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter and around the 18th verse, it tells us, it goes into prophets, if they teach a thing and it come not to pass, fear not that prophet. All right. Also, there's another scripture, I forget exactly where it's at. If they speak not according to this word, avoid them. Roughly paraphrasing. I don't think that's exactly how it's quoted, but Lord willing, you brothers and sisters understand what I'm saying by that. But the point is that we are to teach error-free doctrine, and this is why you have the apostles at Great Millstone, who I believe personally that Yahweh Shai is dealing with, that push out true and sound doctrine, healthy doctrine. All right, but you have individuals, as it says, for the time will come where they will not endure sound doctrine. All right, and we see that going on. All right, when you have individuals also such as Al-Azhar, man, with a video I just seen yesterday, I believe, where he was where he switched up his stance on what he believes on is concerning the grape situation, right, which is according to the law. And now we say time and time again, this is not something that we do. We don't go out grabbing up young girls, underage girls, and because they had their menstrual and just laying with them. We're not doing that. We're giving the sense to the scriptures. All right. And at a point in time, as I seen the video, you had Al-Azhar. He walked up on the apostles and they were having a dialogue concerning this very same topic. And he was in agreement with the apostles. Right. And then, once tribulation came because of the word, because as Al-Azhar said out of his own mouth, this put a big stain on us. He stopped teaching sound doctrine, or stopped believing sound doctrine. Okay. Yeah, I have to get that. When persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. All right, and you are offended, man. And that's in the gospel. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 21. Let's see. Matter of fact, I'll start at 20. It says, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. And that's how we came into this thing. That's how certain individuals do come into this thing. Is you come in, you hear about who you are, you're an Israelite. Okay, you hear about the glorious things that's going to come to Israel. You see how the Most High is going to take care of Israel and protect us from these heathen nations, for the most part, well, his elect at least. Okay, and you want to teach everybody. Now in Al-Azhar's case, you received the word, right? It says what you heard the word concerning the grape doctrine, and anon with joy receiveth it. You were in agreement with it. You understood it. I won't sit and lie and say that you necessarily loved it, but you understood it and you accepted it as true doctrine. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For in tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. And I'll say this. He have not root in himself. That's speaking about an individual who had joy in this thing, hearing the word, hearing about the glorious things of Yahweh Shai, but you weren't really grounded and settled. So when things start hitting the fan, this is the part that I want to apply to Al-Azhar. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. And a beautiful statement that the elder Yashawamba out of the Great Millstone Dallas camp made is that the ancient customs of Yahweh Shai via the grape, it does not match up with Western culture. So there's always going to be some backlash that comes with it, and that's that persecution. Let's get this word persecution. All right, then we're going to get back into the topic. Let's go into this word persecution. Strong's G 1371, diagmos, which just says persecution, right? Let's get into the next variation of this word, which is Strong's G 1377, dioko, which says to make, to run or flee, put to flight, drive away. All right, to run swiftly in order to catch a person or a thing. So pretty much you got away from sound doctrine, and you started to really from listening to how you changed up on that doctrine, you're really starting to slander. You're really starting to slander, and that's not a good look. All right. But once again, going back to the topic, we don't hate you. We hate what you teach. All right. And we always, like I said, we have to be in the defense of the gospel. Let's get that in the book of Philippians, the first chapter. All right. All right. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 1 and verse 15. It says, and I'm going to read down to the point. I got to get the meat off the bone with this one. This is Philippians chapter 1, verse 15. It says, some indeed, excuse me, some indeed preach Hamashiach, even of strife and envy, and some also of goodwill. So you have some individuals out here, they'll know the word, they'll know the name, they'll know the prophecies, but they won't teach it. They won't teach this word for the sake of peace. They'll teach it like, hey, a perfect example. You have individuals with these debates, which is an unnecessary lane of pushing this word. The Lord ain't put us here to debate on these podcasts with these niggas in the world about what's true or not in the scriptures. All right. You got also just some people that just like to argue, man. You just want to go back and forth. The one preach Hamashiach of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds, which you're teaching, that's straight up preaching Hamashiach in contention, man. Because contention goes into conflict. But let's prove it, right? Just be 100% sure. Strong's G 2052, and it says arethia, electioneering or intriguing for office. It says apparently in the New Testament, according to distinction, a desire to put oneself forward, a partisan and factitious spirit which does not disdain low arts, right? Excuse me. All right. So that's it has more, but we're getting to the context of it. The next variation of that is arethia, erethizo. Strong's G 2042. Erethizo, which says to stir up, excite, stimulate, to provoke. Which it does line up with conflict in a sense. We're going to get this word, though, and then we're going to move on. I'm trying not to be too long-winded. Right? So when you get into the word conflict itself, early 15th century, to contend, to fight, to struggle, to strike together, be in conflict, also be in opposition, be contrary or in variance, which is contention. That's a form of contention, man. All right? And this is what you have being taught when you have individuals, switching up the doctrine, putting themselves forward, and the individuals that I mentioned, they definitely put themselves forward as these great men. But here it is. What you're teaching is not sound doctrine. What you're teaching is contentious. What you're teaching is confusion. But let's read on here in verse 17, in Philippians verse 17. It says, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. So we're willing to correct any false doctrine that's being brought out in Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? And so you get verse 18 as well. It says, what then? Notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Hamashiach is preached. Okay? So either way, whether you're teaching, teaching in a false sense or a contentious sense or unsincere sense, or you're teaching in a sincere and a fashion of love, Hamashiach is preached, because he said that in the last days, two things. They will have individuals not teaching sound doctrine, not enduring sound doctrine. Okay? But you will also have the true men that would be set up to be a light unto the Gentiles. Okay? Which are the Israelites that don't know that they're Israelites, or don't have, you lost your heritage, and the light being that light is to help you come back to Yahweh Shem Shai. You have both sides of the spectrum. Okay, and we, Lord willing, in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai, we pray that we are those true prophets that's not teaching for contention, not teaching for strife, but teaching the truth as we have been taught, and the things that we have been assured of. And that's one thing with, let's get that, because that's very important too. It says in the book of 2 Timothy 3 verse 14, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of, and, going back, to, individuals like Nate and Alazar, man, is the same things, your same foundations come from the One West. Okay, which the One West, starting with the elder apostle Tahar on down, that are still teaching sound doctrine. They never changed up their doctrine. Okay, but here it is, you have these two individuals that changed up their doctrine. They changed up what they believe in concerning the scriptures. All right, continuing that which thou hast learned and has been assured of. All right, and to be assured of something, to mean you're positive about it. Right, goes into the Strong's G4104, pisto, to make faithful, render trustworthy, to make firm, establish, to be firmly persuaded of. And you seen the video with Alazar, he was firmly persuaded of the doctrine, the grape doctrine, which now he's going against. You see? So that's, this is a cautionary tale, to those who are in this thing, younger men, and, even, to whomever it applies, that we need to make sure that the things that we learn and that we accept via doctrine, that we've been assured of it and we continue to teach it. And how are we assured of these things? Going into the customs of certain laws, statutes, and commandments, going into words, going into definitions, going into history, doing our fact checking. That's how we assure ourselves in the things that we believe in this doctrine. Knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And like I said, the foundation of these two individuals, and a lot of these cats out here was one West based, So let's see. I wanted to bring out another scripture, but the last precept escaped me. This is all that's coming to mind right now. But we don't hate these individuals, man. Oh, let's get back to that. I don't think I finished that in Timothy. Right, I want to finish that precept in the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 3. I think I did finish it. Yeah, I'll read it again. I think I did finish it, though. This is 2 Timothy 4, verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, right? But after their own lusts shall they heap unto themselves teachers having itching ears, So this is talking really more about, the latter end is talking about individuals in the world. They like to hear smooth things, as it says in the book of Isaiah, the 30th chapter, right? But the ones that are not enduring sound doctrine, that those are the teachers who don't teach sound doctrine, and those are the listeners who don't want to hear sound doctrine. All right, so that goes both ways, And you guess what? When you come out and make that statement, Alazar, and saying, well, this put a stain on us bad, you're gonna have a lot of individuals, and I bet money is predominantly women, that's gonna be like, yeah, he's right. Why would they be talking about raping young girls? Why would they say that that's okay? So you're gonna heap unto yourself a crowd, man. And it was that in Acts the 20th chapter, where it says ravening wolves. Where it says, I believe it says they should draw disciples after them, right? Acts 20 and verse 29. It says, for I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Right? And who's the flock? The Israelites. Okay? And the grievous wolves are speaking about these teachers. All right? False teachers. Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, distorted doctrine, to draw away disciples after them. All right? So you can get a congregation. Keep your pockets lined up fat. Keep popularity within your congregation. And within the world too. Because, to go against certain things in the scriptures, such as the grape, or such as the MOTB, or such as slavery, or such as polygamy, so to speak, what they call it now, which is a man having more than one woman. If you have somebody that's speaking against that and using the scriptures on top of that to try to disprove these things, you're going to have a worldly congregation at your heels, man, following behind you, like you some type of person of importance, But I'll say this to the sincere brothers: let's continue to teach sound doctrine. Let's not depart from the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and at the end of the day, let's keep the main thing the main thing. That's something that one of the younger brothers says here a lot. Keep the main thing the main thing, man. Don't switch up the doctrine, okay? Because when you switch up the doctrine, you look silly. Okay, you look silly as hell, and once again, going back to the statement that I made, and I'll stand on that, is we don't hate what, really the statement that the apostle made. We don't hate you. We hate what you teach. Okay? So, hey, with that being said, I'm going to leave it off there, and I pray that this was an edifying lesson. And I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh, double honor to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace, love, and safety is to the elect. Shalom.